He sees me, take off his hat, and it says, "Hi, I'm Thierry." I didn't know what to say. I was like, I know who you are. I have a poster in my room. When the call came to go into the process of Montreal Roses, it was a no-brainer. All the details, we accept that sometimes we can make errors, but we always strive to do our best in all departments. We're losing 1-0 and we get to halftime and we smile and say, yeah, that's a challenge. They're resilient, they stay calm under pressure, and that's what we want from them. And after that, the backflip. But yeah, after that, we want to beat all the opponents every single time.
Welcome back to the first half on TSN 690 iHeartRadio. I'm Paul Debaye, and I saw you doing a little bit of a head bop there. You down with this track? You down with this music?
I am, yeah.
Amazing. How you doing?
Great, how are you?
Good. So we have Coach Robert of Roses FC. I told you I'm done with the last name. Wow, thank you for taking the time. I know there's not a lot of it. This has been a very busy year for you.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no, of course. We're super excited. Montrealers are excited. Canada's excited. I mean, all eyes on you guys. I wanted to get a bit of your background before we start talking NSL and Roses FC, like all of that. I read a bit of the bio out, but there's nothing like hearing it from the person themselves. So a bit of your backstory. Mom, Dad, where did the love of football come from? Obviously, I read out a bunch of the accolades and sort of the things that you've done here in Quebec football, in the province. But give us a little. Who is this guy?
I came from Romania. Was born and raised there near Hungary. But then I moved in Bucharest when I was 3 years old with my dad. And my mom stayed there, so my mom always lived apart. Even now, she's still living in Romania.
Was that right?
So I got raised, obviously, by them because my parents were still present and they did a lot for me, but also by my grandparents. And the love of football came from the street because I was playing there. I never played there. We were talking just before about your boy, but never played organized soccer before coming here.
You just played with your friends.
Yeah, but played.
Naturally.
Played, go to school, play at school. Yeah. After school, where the schools times there were less longer, shorter. So from either 8 to 1 or 1 to 6. And every time I was ending school, just go out, play and up until night. And that was amazing time. And that's where the passion grew for this game. And when I came here at 11, I spoke no English or French, and I had to use football as a tool to integrate society, and it helped me a lot make friends that I still have today, and help me advance.
Did they find that odd's the wrong word, but I mean, were there that many when you were doing this and you were doing that transition? Were there that many people playing football here, or was it more of he's a European, he's playing football, and then they were trying to say, hey, why don't you try some hockey or try some of this, try some of that? I'm just curious, was it an easy transition in utilizing football to integrate?
Yeah, it was easy because we were just walking with my dad, we saw a football pitch and it was organized with teams, and I never saw that before, almost never, because you still have that in Romania, but not a lot. So my dad saw the opportunity to put me in to help integration, and after that, as I was getting friends at school and all, then my friends from Quebec that I was making, they would say, hey, come try hockey on the streets with us, and that, I really liked it. I was a goalie.
Were you?
I was playing for
Amazing.
fun. I really enjoyed playing hockey too in the streets, and I'm not good at winter sports, so skating and I'm so bad at it. I'm trying to get out of the comfort zone, but I'm a bit scared of skiing and all that.
So football really was, I mean, in Europe makes total sense. Eastern Europe, and then brought it here with you until. So how did then you take that integrations there? Now you got friends going. You've acclimatized. What's happening next? What's happening within the education in football, and how are you making your transition then into, like we read? I mean, eventually you're in the MLS, and then now you're a head coach in the NSL. I mean, there is a path you have to. How did that path become for you?
So my path, and I do believe in that because I lived it, and I believe it happens to players. We see it from many. There's so many examples that there's not a straight path to A to B to C, and And for me, it was playing at the beginning. I dreamed to play professional, but I wasn't fast enough.
Did you try? Did you try out for any
No,
football?
I didn't. I actually stopped. That's I don't have a lot of regrets. I can say I'm a very positive person. I like to always see the glass half full.
Yeah.
But I did stop playing quite early. At 17, I started to work. So I earned money, the friends, and it wasn't the best period in terms of keeping myself busy. But I got the chance to go back into coaching at my early 20s, and that changed my life completely. And that's where I saw that, okay, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life, because I saw the responsibility of more than the job, or yes, living with football, but also to giving to people, doing things
with
for
football,
others
within football,
and doing things for others. And myself, I'll grow in there, and it was so uncomfortable to speak in front of a group, to coach, and to know how to juggle, but to not know how to make somebody learn how to juggle. So it was very interesting, and I like challenges, so I took it, and not looking back since that day.
So how did you go? How did you end up from Blainville to MLS next? Tell us a little bit about that path.
Yeah, so I got the chance to go to enter Montreal's Impact academies and soccer schools, pre-academy and then academy. Soon enough, when I started to coach, and after that, I spent 5 years at the club. I loved that. It was very, very good for me to learn the demanding of high level sports, high level football. With Philippe Olafra's academy and the whole club, basically. And meanwhile, I was still, because I was part-time at that time, I was still having the Blainville's job. So I was, in the day I was working at the club, at the evening I was working in Blainville, and after that I'm always been a guy that wanted to learn new things, to try new things, to learn different experiences. So then I wanted to go see how it is at university. So I had a little spell at McGill University, and then Quebec Soccer, to see more of the big picture, the federation, and after that I had the opportunity to go to Vancouver for last year at the Whitecaps Academy, and I really liked that city when I visited it a couple of years ago. So it was a tough move, because I went alone, my family stayed, but it was worth it. So I went there, and I had the chance to go with the first team a couple of times, and I really loved the club and the atmosphere there. But when the call came to go into the process of Montreal Roses, it was a no-brainer.
It was a no-brainer. Huh?
Yeah.
And did you think it was going to be an easy what I mean by an easy transition, but an easy transition from MLS Next, from that level, into an inaugural league, into inaugural women's football league? Did you think there was going to be a lot of hurdles, or is coaching? Do you know what I mean? Like, is it your player is the player? You're going to have your tactics or your you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter if it's U17, if it's men's senior, women's senior, new league. You got a team. You have to get together. You have to work together, and you have an outcome of trying to be victorious every time you hit the pitch, right?
Yeah, 100%. For me, coaching is coaching, because coaching is adaptable. Coaching, you always have to get to know the person first, so that you can coach him or her, and the group as well. So I always told myself that no matter where I'll go and how I advance, I really believe in one day at a time type of mindset. That's my mindset. But I always promise myself that I'm not going to change, but continue to evolve and learn new things. And when I got this job, it was there are differences, obviously, managing a staff, collaborating with a sporting director more closely, managing players older than me. I already had that before with Blainville, but now with more experience, like a Charlotte Bibeau, who played for France, and I loved it because I think one of my strength is to connect with people, and but after that coaching is still, it remains hard. Coaching, it's hard. Coaching an 8-year-old, it's probably one of the toughest things out there, because they listen for 10 seconds.
The attention span, forget it.
But also a professional player that comes, and the kid in all the
And
girls that we
everybody,
have. They
yeah.
have a kid. They have a
It's
little
inside
girl
of
in them that
yeah.
just wants to play. So you
Sure.
cannot maybe they can listen for 1 minute and a half, but you cannot
They
talk.
still want to you just want to bolt onto the pitch and do what they do best.
Yeah, exactly.
Amazing. I love that. I wanted to, so look, how is it gone so far? And I'm not talking about how the team is doing. Anybody can see online, and anybody can see the great experiences that have been happening, and it's been so far so good. Knock on wood. But how has this inaugural season gone? Because there's things to work on, right? And it's the first time the league is in operation and communicating. And do the coaches communicate more with each other than they would typically because it's a smaller, team dynamic? There's 6 teams, right? So it's more of a fraternity and a sort of hey, listen, we're all up against each other. We all want to win, but in the end, we need this league to be very successful. This is the inaugural year. We need to communicate maybe an issue you're having here versus in Vancouver versus Toronto. You come together on aspects just to sort of help each other, not tactically, but on the bigger picture for the betterment of the league. Is that something that potentially is developed right now in this inaugural season? Yeah.
Yeah, you're spot on. It's there's a lot of communication in all departments. I can see, I can imagine too. Even though sometimes I'm not there to listen, but everyone's learning from everyone depending on the travel, because traveling from Halifax is different than traveling from Toronto, where you're more not in the center, but a bit like us, than to Vancouver and Calgary, who are on the other side. And it's been a challenge. And when you start something like that is brand new, you have to accept imperfection to eventually look to become excellent. And I think that's something that we do very good at the club. We look at all the details. We accept that sometimes we can make errors, but we always strive to do our best in all departments. And so far so good in terms of what we're doing. But we still have to grow as a team, grow as a club, put that foundation. And we're ambitious. The club is ambitious, not only on the results, but on the way it wants to connect to the community, the fans, and the world. So that takes a lot of work, and I'm really proud to be part of that. And after that, more with the other teams. Just last week, we're in Vancouver. I was speaking with the coach, exchanging on when do you give off to your players, how do you travel, what are your some difficulties, and we spoke for 15 minutes before the game. After that, we compete, and after that, we shake hands and we move on. We're all in this together. So. But after that, we want to beat all the opponents every single time.
I mean, that's what I know, of course, dude. Like, listen, that's 100% part of it. I knew that, that's for sure. But this is such a special moment.
It's bigger than that.
Yeah, but that's right, and that's why I wanted to ask that question. And I had a feeling, because we didn't speak about this before.
No.
I had a feeling like if it's got that positive energy and it's going the direction it should be going, this is the exact moment in time where everybody's got to be sort of taking those 15-20 minutes beforehand to share information. I'm not talking tactics. You're not trying to look in the book, none of that stuff. So very cool. Football wise, have you, so I also know you're into, you watch a lot of football too, right? So you follow an English team, do you?
I do,
you can smile. What's your team?
Arsenal.
There you go. Don't be shy. This isn't a shy. You don't have to be shy on this show.
That's the trap. I knew there was a trap.
Trap. I told you you're safe here. This is the trust tree. It's a safe nest. Are you excited for the Premier League to kick back off in August?
Yes, I really am. But to be honest, because of the circumstances, the last 2 years, it was very hard to watch as I was watching. I have football, so I always go back and watch, but it's hard. But yes, I'm excited. I'm challenging myself to watch more of my team this year.
A little bit more. I'm not putting you on the spot. I can see it in your eyes. Are you into or trying to catch a little bit of what's happening with the FIFA Club World Cup?
Any
interest, or are your players interested? Like, is there the conversation amongst people at the club about it?
The club, I would say, maybe a bit more interested about the Euro, the Women's Euro coming up.
That's coming up in August.
Coming up. So I'm really interested in that too. And but the players we have, they look at both men, women.
Yeah,
They
no, I
know,
figured,
yeah.
yeah.
So there's no problem with that. And when the games are a bit at 9 p.m., it's always good to watch before going to bed. But I think it's obviously I know there's a lot of talk behind it, but for me,
Yeah,
it's,
no, I'm
it's
just curious
football.
as a coach and as a football,
Oh, yeah.
somebody in football, are you, do you like the concept? Do you like what FIFA's trying to achieve here? Is it something that you're like, okay, I can see why that was done before the World Cup?
I do from the fan perspective, because it's more football. I watch it, and I also like it from the me as a fan, but also the other fans, because when you see that some of the Brazilians, they came, and from all over the world, they're coming there, and the stadium is full, and they can compete, and you can see the emotion. You can see that they want to show the world that yes, they can beat the big European teams, and they can compete with them. So on that end, after that, more of the professional side, when players have no break and they have to go on, and I think that's maybe a bit harder, but it's part of it.
I wanted to ask you, I'm not putting you on the spot, so it doesn't matter in what context. Do you have a favorite moment right now, maybe a goal or something that's happened so far in the inaugural season with the team, somebody a player on the team, or potentially something within the league that really stands out for you right now as one of the most positive moments of this inaugural season so far? Because so far, there's plenty of football still to be played, so that's why I'm asking up till now.
I'll have many, but the one that comes to mind is the first game at home against Ottawa, when we're losing 1-0 and we get to halftime, and we look each other in the eye, and we smile and say, that's a challenge, so let's go. Then we talk a bit tactically what we can adjust, and that's when because you also get to know the players in tough moments. And in those tough moments, I got to know even more that they're resilient. They stay calm under pressure, and that's what we want from them. And it was good. And we come. Obviously, it's good to have, but then you can finish 1-0, 1-1. But we end up scoring a banger with Latifa, and then Tanya's winning goal. But that comes from a collective effort to win the ball back. To play out from the back, to win the ball back, and then to
push it up,
push it up, switch play, and attack the box like we want to do. So it was a very good goal, and after that the backflip. So all that moment was
something special.
It was a backflip front. I don't know. It was the flip. So
it was flipping. That's amazing.
Flipping. So she got us by surprise, and that honestly was it was a good moment to live, because I knew it meant a lot for the club. And for the fans, it was full house, so we hope to recreate those.
As a football fan, have you been in an experience somewhere on an international level or in a large match that has been a negative experience for you in that energy?
I don't have a lot of negative experiences. I'm happy to. So I obviously I don't like to lose. I hate to lose, but I love to win. So when that happens, I'm trying to be as objective as possible, look at the game back and take it in, because I know there also in those moments there's I'm good to say there's other things in life, and when we win it's like this is it, we're living the moment. So but I would say one of the negative experiences it's a couple of years ago or last year I was playing speaking about street football, and so I was playing with a 7v7 field, but we're playing with some guys I didn't know with my wife, because she plays too, and we're just playing, and in front of the 7-a-side nets they put like mini nets, but very mini nets, and we're playing like 8v8. It was so hard. We played for 1 hour and a half. The game finished 0-0. It was it was
impossible.
It was impossible to score. We have keepers. That was a negative experience. I was so mad, because I was funny. Like, well, we have nets just in behind. It's all about scoring goals, So that got me thinking at that time that when we practice, whatever I have to do, keep them scoring, keep that feeling of scoring goals, no matter the position, no matter the. And I think that's something that with our youth. We can do a better job. We always look to maybe she or he can play as a defender, but at 10. No, they just want to score goals. They just want to have fun.
They all want to push up.
Yeah, exactly. So how can we make things more interested? And for the players, even at professional level, I think it applies. So, but that
it applies in training, you mean?
Yeah, it applies in training. Yeah. And so I don't know if you saw Stephanie Hale's goal against. It was against Vancouver at home, and she went up. She defended in transition, dribbled, and scored from, I don't know, maybe 30 meters, and she loved it. And
the fans went crazy.
Everybody wants to score,
Yeah, everybody wants to score. That's a perfect way. We're going to go to a quick commercial break. When we come back, I want to talk to a few more things with you, and then we're definitely going to do some 12 questions. So are you good with sticking around?
Of course.
Amazing. This is TSN 690, the first half on iHeartRadio, and we want to thank everybody at Quincaillerie Notre-Dame again for constantly supporting the show and for serving Saint-Henri for over 5 generations and 135 years. We'll be back after this commercial break. Welcome back to TSN 690 iHeartRadio. This is the first half. I'm Paul Debaye, and in studio is Coach Robert. Robert Rositoiu, right?
That's it.
Baby! I got the Romanian in me, coach of Roses FC. We're talking team, we're talking NSL, we're talking Arsenal. Don't worry, I'm not going to keep going down that path.
Oh, you can. We're doing well.
No. It's going to be an amazing Premier League season. I'm very excited for this year. And like FIFA Club World Cup or not, all the moves that there's so much stuff going on trade-wise right now. Yeah. And everybody, I'm sorry, we just flew right into this. Sorry about it. We'll get into community in a second. But everybody is watching. Are you getting a strike? Are you getting a number 9? What are you doing up front for Arsenal? Yeah. Everybody is I'm reading everything online and I'm listening on air, and it's just it's so wild to see.
It is, yeah. I hope we bring somebody.
Right?
Yeah.
But when? So you have to. You're fine. The window's open for months still. Yeah. But you and every other team in the Premier League wants that position.
Yeah.
You're going to need to spend.
There's something I do like, not only because it's my club, but I always thought that Arsenal was careful about the spending and finding the right people. So sometimes it's not good because you miss opportunities probably. But at the same time, when it happens, I think there's a proper fit. So I'm looking forward. I hope we can bring somebody.
Has Arsenal, in your opinion, missed some opportunities? What's an opportunity, one or two, that you're like, oh my goodness gracious, that should have come our way?
Oh,
anything?
Not one player in mind, but it's just more in the Arsene Wenger era. I think it was some time that you can feel, you can see that we do need somebody, and nobody was coming. But I know it was also to pay off the Emirates and other stuff that we don't know. But
here's a question: do you have a favorite Arsenal moment to date?
Oh,
that's a good one, right?
Oh, I have one.
Okay.
Well, it did happen here. I once went to an Arsenal game against Bayern Champions League, but that wasn't. It was tough. It was the last. It was 2016 before that long period before we came back. But actually, the moment I want to speak about is when I met Thierry Henry, because I met him when he came to work at the club. I was at the club, and for me, he was the reason in one way that I love football and gave me emotion. I love his cold-blooded mindset, and just the fact that he was scoring goals and the way he was scoring goals. So when he came on the club, I was like, oh wow, my idol is here. And because I was working there, I was always shy, because you always hear those things that Thierry Henry is big, and you can even hear he's a bit arrogant and all that stuff. So one day I walk out the kitchen and I bump into him, just him and me. Nobody else, no cameras, no nothing. And he was in the winter, even though we were inside. and he sees me take off his hat and it says, "Hi, I'm Thierry." And I was like, oh, I didn't know what to say. I was like, I know who you are. I have a poster in my room.
A poster over my bed next to my wife.
And and I didn't know what to say. So then I saw, yeah, sometimes the people of that level of celebrity, and they have an
aura.
image, yeah, they have an aura, but they have also an image that they show, but in reality they may be different. So I learned from that experience, and he didn't stay long at the club, but it was enjoyable to have
But
him
you
here.
spoke to him a few minutes.
Yeah, a little bit.
So I would suggest that would be the best Arsenal moment for you. I mean, literally face to face in next to an espresso, being, "Hey, I'm Terry." I'm like, "Yeah, I know who you are." That's cool. Is there a goal that stands out for you in the Arsene Wenger sort of era, or even more recently? Is there something specific that you cling on to and means
I think
a lot to you as an Arsenal fan? I mean, look, being in Champions League game too, that must have been phenomenal energy.
Yeah, it was amazing. Even though at the moment we lost, but it was amazing to go there at night. And I saw what it means for a stadium to vibrate, to live, to get to life. And I never forget. I was with my dad, so it was an amazing experience.
Is he an Arsenal supporter as well?
No, he just came with me because
he came with you because he loves his boy.
Yeah, exactly.
Isn't it?
So I thank him for that, and for everything he's done for me.
Beautiful.
And any goal, because that's why I love this team. Any goal that comes from combination play, Jack Wilshere against Norwich, maybe that, I think it was Norwich, I might not even remember, or Giroud. There are some goals that this team scored that comes off of a beautiful combination play, team play, and
collaboration.
These are my favorites.
So speaking of collaboration and community and connectivity, because that's where you're leading to, so I want to thank you for that segue, sir. You're ready for this. After that, you come in a radio, you come do all this stuff. How important is community, and how important has community been up till now in supporting this entire process for you and the players and the team, and sort of integration and helping push everything along, because it is an effort for everybody to connect.
It's crucial. It's one of the reason being of the clubs, alongside with offering opportunities to more women players, staff, employees, to have the chance to work in this environment. But also to have people have now we're going to have 1 week break. And yesterday I was with the players, and they made fun of me because I always speak about the little girl.
Is that right?
Charlotte Bibo just imitated me and say, the little girl, you always talk about her. Yeah, I talk about and I'm happy they did that, because I felt the buy-in at that moment. The little
because of the way you guys are connecting and getting personal within the effort of you having to coach the team.
Yes, I think, and also because of the fact that we want to be close to our fans. We always say we want to be fans of our fans, and every time we finish a game, we really want to spend time with them, and in the community as well. We're going to see the little players, the little girls, the little boys too in the clubs, and spending time with the community to show them that first it's possible. If you want to become a player here, you can, but also come see us, come live emotions with us, come have a good time with us. And it's not only about the little ones, it's for everybody.
Yeah, of course.
We have a new and another professional football club in the city. I think the city deserves it even more, maybe on the men's side. And we already have one that is well established here, and with CF Montreal. But for the Roses are Montreal Roses are special. It's something. There's something special about this club.
Yeah, no, there's definitely something special. Okay, is there something that you want to bring up yourself? Is there something that's coming up for the next half of this season that you want to pinpoint as where you want the community? I mean, the community, you want them to come back to you at every game. But is there one they're like, man, we want everybody there before we get close to the playoff race? Is there something that you want to mention to the public?
Just to come see us, like you mentioned, because it's a good experience, and also because now we've played 10 games, but only 4 at home. So now we have a lot of home games to come up. Yeah. Good time, we hope. So good times outside. So yes, it's in Laval, but it's not that far. So
no, and there's a lot of infrastructure set up to make it smooth.
And it's worth it. Parking is available, and it's really worth it to come see us. So
I can't wait.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I'm ashamed that I haven't been there yet. This is amazing. Listen, Coach Robert, it's you're doing an amazing job. You have an amazing energy. I'm thrilled that you were able to find some time to join us in here. So I want to thank you. We're going to keep watching. We'll stay connected as we always do, and we're going to keep cheering on the team.
Thank you for that.
But we got to get to 12 questions.
Let's go.
Let's go. You ready? All right. Here we go. 12 questions on the first half on TSN 690 coming up. 12 questions here on the first half. You ready, Coach Robert?
I am.
All right. Question 1. What is your favorite film?
Moneyball.
Number 2. What is your favorite song or band?
Section d'assaut, French.
Number 3. Favorite sports team?
Arsenal.
Number 4. Favorite athlete, dead or alive?
Can I say 2?
Sure.
Thierry Henry, Kobe Bryant.
Number 5. What is your favorite food?
Homemade barbecue from my dad. And my mom's food. She's not gonna
You're
listen.
just playing the line right now. You know you chose Dad's barbecue. Number 6. What is your favorite drink, alcoholic and non-alcoholic?
Alcoholic vodka and soda, and non-alcoholic water.
A little white lightning, eh? Robert's got a streak. Number 7. What would be the first thing you would buy if you won the lottery?
A small football club.
I love it. We're doing 12 questions here with Coach Robert Rositoiu of Roses FC. Number 8, dream trip.
Spain, all over the Spain.
Amazing. Number 9, how do you deal with stress?
I breathe. I stay calm.
A lot of nose breathing, eh? A lot of breathing, a lot of smoothing out. Good job, Coach. Number 10. It's a little spicy, but I know your wife's close by, so we'll keep it copacetic. Pajamas or no pajamas?
Only underwear.
Ooh. Keep it clean, sir. Number 11, what is your favorite fashion brand at the moment?
I love Adidas. I've always been a fan of Adidas.
Amazing. Number 12, name one thing you cannot live without.
A football. No.
Yeah. Dude, were you nuts?
My wife, my family.
There you go.
And a football.
There you go. No trouble. And number 12.1, I need one word to describe football. So football is?
Emotion.
Amazing. That was 12 questions with Coach Robert here on the first half on TSN 690. Listen, honestly, thank you so much for your time. We're very excited, and stay a friend of the show, and we'll keep connected, yeah?
Thank you so much for having me.
Amazing. Good luck next season.
Thank
Maybe
you.
top 5, maybe not. Okay. Amazing. We'll be back right after this.